Welcome everyone to the live stream of VLAMP How-To Show. That's VLAMP, Video Lighting, Audio, Music, and Photography How-To Show. I'm, of course, your host, Matt Haslam, and today we're going to be showing you how to create graphics for your OBS Studio software so you can have live graphics during your live stream. So, how do we do it? Well, it's actually a lot easier than what a lot of people think it is. I actually work on a television station where we have computers and these $1,000 programs to do it for us. By the way, that program is called Lyric, Lyric. It's a program on the computer that enables you to do live graphics for television production. However, that's quite expensive for what a lot of people have the budget for. And if you're trying to do live streams for a YouTube channel and stuff, you don't really need that kind of software. If you're doing broadcast, yes, you do need that. But if you're just doing the YouTube, you don't really need that kind of stuff. So, how we create these graphics is, believe it or not, as simple as it may seem, in a program called Microsoft PowerPoint. Now, this is a program where a lot of people have this program. You can also do a very similar thing in Adobe Illustrator if you have that program. Most of the graphics that I do are in Illustrator, so that's what I use a lot of the times for my thumbnails and just for regular graphics for video production. But because I'm trying to show you guys how to do it very, very cheap and easy, I want to use PowerPoint for this because not a lot of people have the whole Creative Cloud suite from Adobe or can afford that, where maybe Illustrator would be a lot better than PowerPoint for a lot of these things, but we're going to be using PowerPoint today because it's actually easier for everyone to use. So basically, in my last live stream, which was a Q&A session, our monthly live stream, we used this Berlin template, basically, and just use graphics in there. And so I'm just going to open that up really quick and show you kind of what we created in that. So this is our monthly live stream graphics. So we just basically took this and brought it into OBS Studio quite simply. Now, okay, the question isn't how you create things on the screen, because really you can make anything you want. And I just had this as an overall presentation just so I can have this on the one screen during that live stream, and I didn't really have to worry about it. And I can just like read my notes and stuff of what to say and what to do for the entire hour. But how we create graphics for OBS is quite simply. So what we're going to do is we're going to create this. We want this announcements whole right here section to be a graphic on our OBS Studio. Now, we can also just create a new, if I can get open here. So let's say we want to create a brand new graphic that we've never had before. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new presentation, obviously. And we're going to do this from the beginning. That way everyone understands how to do it. So let's create a shape here. And this doesn't have to be really complex. In programs like Illustrator and stuff, you might make it more complex than what you're going to make it in PowerPoint and stuff. But that's for the graphic designers out there who are used to making these kind of graphics for video production. And what we're creating right now is the lower third graphic. So if you ever watch the news or television in general, you probably saw a graphic on the lower left-hand side of your screen. So that's like right here on the screen. And like as if your picture, someone was talking right here, and you wanted a graphic to say who they are. So we're going to have this little graphic here. And you know what? Let's edit that shape because I don't really like just a rectangle or something really stupid like that. So let's take this actually in a little bit, like so. That way we create somewhat of a different shape there. I'm going to copy and paste that. And I'm going to change the color of it just a little bit. I mean, again, you don't have to be a complete graphic designer to do this kind of stuff. Um, I'm just doing it because I just want to make my things look different sometimes than what normally is out there. All right, so let's say that's our main graphic. And let's bring a picture in here. Picture from file. You can do this with anything, really. It's quite simple. Let's say we want to bring in an MHP logo, right? Which is the company this show is actually sponsored by. So, sponsor product placement there. All right, so let's say our main graphics there. We want to create a little, just a simple thing. This doesn't have to be absolutely perfect because it's not always going to be perfect. But let's say that's our graphic. Send that backwards. Center that up. And let's change that shape just because I don't like shapes that are just regular. No outline on that. And you know what? I'm going to add no outline on this one as well because I don't really like that one. All right, so let's say that's our basic graphic. And now we're going to add some text to show who's actually going to be on the screen. So you can do this with the text box. I just prefer to do it with word art and PowerPoint. So let's say I want a graphic for myself as I'm appearing on the screen. So I'm going to create my name in the word box there. I'm going to change maybe the font of it to be something very, very legible like Arial. Arial or Times New Roman or something that everyone can read pretty much no matter how quick you look at the graphic. And I'm not going to do any outline. I'm not going to do any text effects at all. Just make sure that there's no text effects on that. So, yeah, there's no text effects. I just wanted to make sure because I don't like shadows on graphics and stuff. In video production, you're going to learn a lot more of how to do graphics, and you're going to learn the more crazy your graphics are, the less people can read them. So I don't really like having too much effects on my graphics. But right down here, let's say, because I'm the founder and CEO of Madhausen Productions, let's say I want to create a little bit smaller and I want to introduce myself on the screen. Or, you know what, because let's say I'm talking about a film that I'm working on. So I'm going to actually say director down here. And I'm going to move that right there. And now I have a basic graphic. Now, of course, there's going to be graphic designers out there who are saying you can do a lot better than this, but actually we're in a live stream right now, and we're about 10 minutes in, and we haven't actually gotten to OBS Studio, where a lot of this program is. So, where a lot of the programming for this actually happens. So, I'm just going to create something very, very simple, really here, just to get our point across. This is how you take a graphic that you've already made and you put it into OBS Studio. Now, of course, in programs like Illustrator, you can save the picture of whatever you created as a PNG file, which is what you want to do here. You want to take everything here, and you're just going to click Command A or Shift A, I believe, on a PC computer, but I'm on a Mac right now, so it's Command A, which is Control All. I'm sorry, Control All, which selects everything. Basically, select all tool, and then you right-click on any of the shapes here, and you hit Save as Picture. And now you can save this as a picture. I'm going to save it to my desktop, where I'm going to be able to really quickly access this file in just a moment when we get to OBS Studio. You could save these in a file just for that video that you're working on or whatever. Generally, if I'm working on a client project, I'm going to save it in my RAID system down here, and I'm going to save it in that client's folder, so on and so forth. But for just a live stream or something like that, I'm going to create all these graphics and put them right here on my desktop. That way, they're easily accessible to OBS in just a second. So I'm going to say Matt Haslam lower, if I can spell, third, because that's what the graphic actually is, right? So now I'm going to actually close Microsoft PowerPoint. I'm just going to leave it like this for right now because I don't really want to have this as I don't want to get rid of this because maybe I want to make more graphics up. But one thing I actually forgot, and because we're live, I'm not going to go back and fix it, but you could make this a little bit easier on yourself, and you could insert a rectangle shape right here and put it over top of everything you've just done as the whole rectangle, right? And you're going to hit no outline and no outline on the shape, and then no fill on the shape either. And that way, when you select everything, you're actually selecting this whole box here as well. And that way, this stays proportional to your screen when you bring it into OBS. So I'm going to save this as a picture again and as my lower third. And that way, when I bring this in, yes, I want to replace that. But when I bring this into my OBS studio, this is all going to stay proportional to the rest of my screen. Because in theory, I've already figured out how big I want this graphic to be comparison to the whole screen that you're seeing on OBS or on live stream. So I want to create this big box that's completely opaque. No one can actually see this besides me right now. And now I'm going to close PowerPoint. I'm going to minimize it because I might want to make more graphics in just a second. I'm going to bring my OBS studio over here. And now, as you can see, it's really being weird. But not bearing in mind any of what you see at the top here, because it's really doing some weird stuff with picture-in-picture. But let's say I want to bring my graphic into OBS here, so that way I can actually start using it. So I'm going to go down here in my Sources menu and hit Add. And now I'm going to say Media Source, or no, I'm sorry, Image. Media sources if you want to play a video during your live stream that you've already created. So I'm going to bring an image into my OBS studio now. But because it's a lower third, I want to, and because maybe I'll have 20 or 30 graphics during the entire live stream, I don't want to search through them image by image. So I'm not going to just leave this called image. I'm going to change the name of it to what I actually created. So I'm going to say Matt Haslam, lower third, and yes, I want to make source visible. Hit OK. And now I'm actually going to go and find that picture wherever I saved it on my computer. And because I saved it on my desktop, now I can go, okay, Matt Haslam, lower third, bring that in, right? And now I'm going to hit OK. Now that image has came into my program here. And now I just make sure that the size of my overall screen is the same as my I'm gonna just disable that just for purposes of this live stream. But now I want, let's say I want my overall camera picture to be that big, and I want this lower third in the corner. That looks pretty good to me. And now I can transition to that, and now I have a lower third on myself to show you who I am. And then let's say I want another graphic to come in. I would do it the same way. As long as you save every graphic as a PNG file and then bring it into OBS as a picture, you can make it proportional to your screen. That way, it's when it comes in here, you don't have to do a whole bunch of resizing of the image in basically what is known as pre-production. Then you don't have to resize the image every time you're bringing a new image in. You're just bringing an image, and it's already proportional to your screen. So let's do that process one more time. I'm actually turn back on the no. Do that process one more time just so you can actually see how it's done more in real time. So I'm going to do that now that you guys can actually see my screen again. So let's say I want to create my graphic for the upcoming live stream. And because it's a monthly live stream, I want to announce that our daily videos here on the channel are at 10:30 in the morning, every morning. Weekly episodes are at Mondays at 8, and live streams for some Monday each month. So what I'm going to do is let's say I have this graphic, which, by the way, this is a template that Microsoft PowerPoint gives you. It's called Berlin template. But because this background here is not actually an image, or because it's not something that I created right here, I actually have to go in and screenshot this. And this is another way you can do it, where let's say I have another PowerPoint presentation. I'm first going to sort of minimize that. I'm going to go into another PowerPoint presentation that I have open here, and I'm going to hit Insert and then Screenshot, Screen Clipping. No, that's not the right one. Okay. So I first have to bring that smaller. Screenshot, Screen Clipping, which is going to minimize that folder. And now I just grab this part of the screen that I want to be my lower third for that announcement. I bring it into here, and now I have this as an image, right? Now I can take this, and I can do whatever I want with it. So I'm going to right-click it, save as picture, and save it to my desktop. Let's say I want announcement, lower third. And I saved it as a PNG file, which is important because PNG means that everything around the image is transparent completely. If you save it as a JPEG image, that means that everything is going to be white. Let's say you saved this as a JPEG image, means everything here is going to be completely white, and you're not going to be able to use this as a graphic. So you need to save it as PNG for all of this to be transparent, and just for this to be apparent on the screen. So now let's go into OBS, minimize these two. Now let's go into OBS, and let's take the display, turn that off for just a second. No. Yeah. Okay, so let's say I want a new lower third here with that special announcement. So I'm going to hit Add Image, and I'm going to call it an announcement lower third, because that's what the graphic's actually called. And that way, because, by the way, now we have more than one graphic, I don't want to have to keep looking during the live stream for the correct graphic on the screen. I'm going to browse for that image, announcement, lower third. Okay, now it's in my program monitor, right? So I'm actually moving the wrong one. Okay, So this announcement one, I'm going to resize it a little bit because it's way too big, actually. And I'm going to just drag it down here to where my lower third would normally be. And boom, now I have this as a lower third, and I can hit transition, and it will bring it over to what it's actually going out to the live broadcast right now, which is right here on my screen. I'm not going to do that because you won't be able to see the actual desktop right now of what I'm actually doing. But I can just hit transition. Now, let's say during the live stream, I want to go back and forth between graphics. So all I have to do down here is make sure all of my graphics are over top of my display or my camera that I'm using for my webcam right now. So let's say I just want to make sure that those graphics are over top of that. Let's say when I bring the image in, it's actually underneath my camera. So my camera's right there, and the actual lower third that I want on top of my image to show who I am on the screen is underneath that. I just want to left click and hold that left click down and drag it up above whatever I want to show. So make sure your background, whatever you want up here in this section, is below your graphics. And all your graphics are up here at the top, which makes it easier during the live stream to find things because now all of your graphics are at the top of the list. You can also like resize this so you can have a lot more down here. But let's say I want to switch from this announcements to the lower third of introducing myself. So all I have to do is left click on the little I button right here next to the graphic, and it makes it disappear or makes it appear. And now, basically, if I don't want any graphics when I start off my live stream, I have all of these basically marked as invisible so that you're not seeing them on the live stream. And then when I want to bring them into the live stream, all I have to do is left click it, boom, right now it's over here on my program or my source monitor. And now I hit transition, and that goes over here. And when it's over here, that's actually what's going out to you guys on the audience. And then if I change that, basically the announcements over here, now this graphic is on the screen, but over here, if I was really doing this in reality without showing you guys the display at the same time, the graphic, the Matt Haslam graphic would be over here still going out to you guys. And without you guys knowing it, I would actually be switching the graphics for the next graphic that I wanted on the screen. Now all I have to do is hit transition, and boom, the new graphic comes in and the old graphic goes out without any problems. And I can keep doing that as many times as I want. If I don't want any graphics anymore, I can hit to make all of these invisible, and then hit transition to make the whole your whole screen be my webcam. So it actually is a lot easier than what a lot of people think. I know it sounds complex to put live graphics into. It sounds really complex to put live graphics in a shot, but it's really not. I mean, what you don't realize is that you can use programs like Microsoft PowerPoint. You don't need all these very expensive programs such as Illustrator. So that's how you create a graphic in OBS Studio, and that's how you create graphics to get them to OBS Studio. Whatever program that you're actually using, just make sure to save it as a PNG file, and that way it'd be a lot easier for you guys in the long run. Because now you would have, just make sure this is going out, okay? Now you're going to have that, that as a PNG file, and because it's a PNG file, that makes all of the rest of the screen, where you're actually seeing my face right now, as a transparent image. And the only thing that's not transparent is that lower third on the bottom right here. So just be sure to save it as a PNG file, bring it into OBS as an image, using your sources and make things visible and invisible during your live stream, and your audience will thank you for those graphics in the end. You can also create full screen graphics or anything you need in order to make it look really good. So thank you guys for joining us here today on VLamp How To Show. VLamp is your video, lighting, audio, music, and photography how-to show. I'm, of course, your host, Matt Haslam. It's been an honor, and see us next time here on the show. We have daily episodes coming. Actually, I can show you the announcements, which is really good now that we have that graphic. So daily videos come out every single day at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Our weekly episodes air Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we have a monthly live stream, which is a Q&A session and commenting on comments session, as well as some announcements and stuff like that, every single month during the first Monday of the month at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that comes to you live from the studios here at Matt Haslam Productions. Thank you so much for joining us for today's episode. I hope you enjoy, and I hope you create wonderful graphics for your live streams in the future. Have a great day, everyone, and see us next time. Bye for now.